All right, now guys, once I'm seeing my team leader firing from the ORP, I immediately asked him, what is going on? Where are you shooting? Why are you shooting? He said, hey, we have the enemy. We made contact. That was his reason for the firing. So I immediately I went back out, got my recon team back. Everybody got back to the ORP, and we immediately started heading back to the AA. My TAC said she wanted me to reroute and go somewhere else, so we rerouted, went somewhere else, and indexed. Once we indexed, we conducted AAR. Op 4 came out with the AA. I mean, during the AAR. And we asked those questions like, hey, what happened? What did you see? You know, what was your mission? You know, the same old question. So, you know, I told him what was going on, what was the situation as far as, hey, I set up my ORP during this recon, my recon team out, come back, I hear gunfire, I come back, I see my team leader firing. And I immediately grabbed everyone and we broke contact. And that was it. And then we talked about specific things about reports and, you know, the movement, all the regular things, you know, that you conduct in AR, but we didn't go in depth about the situation, about I felt that my team leader was trying to sabotage me. So anyway, we had another lane to do. So we continued with the mission that day, which was stick. So we had about another 3-4 lanes to go. Okay, once we got back to the tent city, that's what we call it out there at LDAC, I immediately pulled him out one-on-one, and I asked him, I said, hey man, what is going on today? I didn't want to argue with him because, you know, I felt like he was squared away, and, you know, his reason, he said that he seen enemy contact. He felt like, I mean, he first seen the enemy, he felt like he was supposed to immediately shoot. He felt like, hey, we were seen, I figured we just shoot. And so we went back and we talked about, you know, the recon, and I reiterated him with the mission, but that was his excuse, and I didn't want to argue with him about the situation. But I definitely wanted to make sure that he knew that I felt like he was trying to sabotage me. So I brought up, you know, his prior lane. You know, I brought up like, hey, I seen that you were down. You know, is this still going to affect you throughout this whole time that we're here? You know, because I don't want you having the same attitude where you're dragging. You know, I want you to be good to go for these next couple lanes. But I mean, if there's anything that you need to say, if you don't like somebody, especially me, if you don't like me, definitely let me know. But my mindset was like, you know, if there's an issue within the squad, let's all talk about it. And, you know, he agreed. You know, he kept apologizing, like, hey, you know, I apologize. I didn't really mean for anything to happen as far as negative. So I brought in the squad, and then we kind of talked about it just you know what I'm saying, like, just a little bit more. And, you know, he later expressed, you know, he was mad. He was mad that he felt like he was sabotaged. You know, he had his reasons for it. You know, he felt like everybody was dragging, everybody was asking him too many questions during his op order and stuff. So that was the reason why he had this certain attitude, which we kind of figured out. But anyway, we talked about it. But still, as well as I feel like I knew, as me and the rest of my squad, our mindset at this particular time now is we want to isolate him. We don't want to have anything to do with him now. We still have to work with him, but now it was more like we don't even want to be associated with you. Because we felt like we didn't mean to so-called sabotage him. He was just upset about his grade. But later, our mindset was like we don't want to risk it. We'll still be squad, buddy, but at the same time, in our back of our heads, we're like, we don't really want to be associated with him because it might happen to you. So even the friendships that he did have, I don't know. Everybody started kind of being isolated. I mean, we ranked this guy like #1 in the beginning of the process. In the beginning, when we first got there, we felt like he was #1. But towards the end, we didn't see it. And also to mention it, I did bring it up to the TAC. I brought it up to the TAC, and I told him, you know, what was going on, but it was prior issues than that. But I brought it up to the TAC. The TAC mindset was, hey, I already know what's going on. I've seen it. It's always the so-called Blue Falcon. It's always the guy that's always trying to be squared away, trying to get that knee. And everybody always grades him number one. They always evaluate him number one in the beginning. And then towards the end, that's when you really start seeing somebody's true character. But it definitely came. I definitely brought it to the table. But it wasn't something serious. I didn't want to, get anybody in trouble. I definitely want to get it, but I just wanted to bring it up to their attention for the next incident. If there is another incident, at least that I brought it up the first time. But that was pretty much it. So we can just continue the rest of the time we were there. We had some good talks, but at the end of the day, he kind of was to himself the rest of the time. I don't think he tried to sabotage any other lanes at that particular time, but I felt like we kind of just zoned him out, and we were ready to rock and roll the rest of the time we were there. But that was it.